about that. Ladies and gentlemen, the Alabama Senate will now come to order. Our prayer today will be delivered by Senator Elliott. Senator Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Lord be with you. Let us pray. Accept, O Lord, our thanks and praise for all that you have done for us. We thank you for the splendor of the whole creation, for the beauty of this world, for the wonder of life, and for the mystery of love. We thank you for the blessing of family and friends, and for the loving care which surrounds us on every side. We thank you for setting us at tasks which demand our best efforts, and for leading us to acknowledge accomplishments which satisfy and delight us. We thank you also for those disappointments and failures that lead us to acknowledge our dependence on you alone. Above all, we thank you for your Son, Jesus Christ, for the truth of his word and the example of his life, for his steadfast obedience by which he overcame temptation, and for his dying through which he overcame death, and his rising of life again in which we are raised to the life of your kingdom. Grant us the gift of your Spirit that we may know him and make him known, and through him at all times and in all places may give thanks to you in all things. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Senator Elliott. Today, the pledge will be led by Christian Roundtree. Christian attends Living Word Christian Center Kingdom Academy in Mobile and is paging for Senator Figures.
Attention, salute, pledge.
All right. Thank you, Christian. Secretary, call the roll.
Mr. Albritton, Mr. Allen, Mr. Barfoot, Mr. Beasley, Mr. Bell, Mr. Butler, Mr. Carnley, Mr. Chambliss, Mr. Chasteen, Ms. Coleman, Ms. Coleman-Madison, Mr. Elliott, Ms. Figures, Mr. Gavan, Mr. Gudger, Mr. Hatcher, Mr. Hovey, Mr. Jones, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kitchens, Mr. Livingston, Mr. Melson, Mr. Orr, Mr. Price, Mr. Roberts, Mr. Sessions, Mr. Shellnut, Mr. Singleton, Mr. Smitherman, Mr. Stewart, Mr. Stutz, Mr. Wagner, Ms. Weaver, Mr. Williams, Mr. Woods.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have 28 senators present, which is a quorum, and the Senate is ready to transact business.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
move that we excuse absent senators.
All right. Any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
move that we dispense with the reading of the journal from the previous legislative day and that we adopt said journal.
All right. Any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. Now move on to introduction of bills. Senator Kitchens.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for the introduction of bills at any point throughout the day.
Any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. Senator Kitchens.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that we allow committee reports at any time throughout the day.
All right. Any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. Thanks, Senator Kitchens. All right. Now move on to House messages. Secretary, call the first House message.
Message from the House. Mr. President, the House of Representatives has originated and passed the following engrossed House bill and ordered same sent forthwith to the Senate. House Bill Number 1 by Representatives Boyd and others relating to motor vehicles is referred to the Committee on Fiscal Responsibility and Economic Development. Signed, John Treadwell, Clerk. Message from the Governor, Senate confirmation. What number are we on? Senate Confirmation Number 90, appointing Shanika Johnson Annam to the Alabama Sickle Cell Oversight and Regulatory Commission, is referred to the Committee on Confirmations. Message from the House, Mr. President. The House of Representatives has amended as therein shown and is amended as passed the following Senate bill and returns same herewith to the Senate. Senate Bill number 170 regarding health insurance. Signed, John Treadwell, Clerk.
Mr. President, I move that we concur with the amendment. We don't have a previous roll, do we?
Do not.
Okay, I move we concur with the amendment and
Using the long roll. All right, Secretary, call the
voice
long roll.
vote, however you want to do it.
Long roll.
Okay.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Allen. Mr. Barfoot. Mr. Beasley. Mr. Bell. Mr. Butler. Mr. Carnley. Mr. Chambliss. Mr. Chasteen. Ms. Coleman. Ms. Coleman Madison. Mr. Elliott. Ms. Figures. Mr. Gavan. Mr. Gudger. Mr. Hatcher. Mr. Hovey. Mr. Jones. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kitchens. Mr. Livingston. Mr. Milson. Mr. Orr. Mr. Price. Mr. Roberts. Mr. Sessions. Mr. Shillnut. Mr. Singleton. Mr. Smitherman. Mr. Stewart. Mr. Stutz. Mr. Wagner. Ms. Weaver. Mr. Williams. Mr. Woods.
29 ayes, 0 nays, 1 abstention. The Senate concurs on Senate Bill 170.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Secretary, call the next House message.
Message from the House. Mr. President, the House of Representatives has originated and passed the following engrossed House bill and ordered same sent forthwith to the Senate. House Bill number 511 by Representative Ingram, a proposed constitutional amendment regarding education, is referred to the Committee on Education Policy. Signed, John Treadwell, Clerk. Message from the House. Mr. President, the House of Representatives has originated and passed the following engrossed House bill and ordered same sent forthwith to the Senate. House Bill number 399 by Representatives Holsey and others regarding tax abatements is referred to the Committee on Fiscal Responsibility and Economic Development. Signed, John Treadwell, Clerk. Message from the House. Mr. President, the House of Representatives has originated and passed the following engrossed House bill and ordered same sent forthwith to the Senate. House Bill number 468 by Representatives Chestnut and others regarding commissions and authorities is referred to the Committee on County and Municipal Government. Signed, John Treadwell, Clerk. Message from the House. Mr. President, the House of Representatives has originated and passed the following engrossed House bill and ordered same sent forthwith to the Senate. House Bill number 466 by Representative Treadaway regarding firefighters is referred to the Committee on Finance and Taxation General Fund. Signed, John Treadwell, Clerk. Message from the House. Mr. President, the House of Representatives has originated and passed the following engrossed House bill and ordered same sent forthwith to the Senate. House Bill number 60 by Representative Tillman regarding criminal and civil procedure is referred to the Judiciary Committee. Signed, John Treadwell, Clerk. Message from the House. Mr. President, the House of Representatives has originated and passed the following engrossed House bill and ordered same sent forthwith to the Senate. House Bill number 259 by Representative Shaw regarding cryptocurrency is referred to the Committee on Fiscal Responsibility and Economic Development. Signed, John Treadwell, Clerk. Message from the House. Mr. President, the House of Representatives has originated and passed the following engrossed House bill and ordered same sent forthwith to the Senate. House Bill number 398 by Representative Lamb regarding sales and use taxes is referred to the Committee on Finance and Taxation Education. Signed, John Treadwell, Clerk.
All right, concludes House messages, and now move on to committee reports. Secretary, call the first committee. You want a moment of personal privilege? Yeah, we can do that before we get started. Go ahead, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. If I could have everyone's attention just a minute. We've had Senate Bill 316 that's been working its way through the process, and I want to just publicly thank several people, Senator Gudger especially, and all of his staff, and the people from the Department of Corrections. We've had several meetings over the last couple of weeks and have come to an agreement of how we're going to do some prison oversight for the next year. And we're going to do direct oversight through the Examiner of Public Accounts with either 3 or 4 prisons in the Department of Corrections. And I want to thank all the people that worked on this to get to this point. And we're going to do that for the next year and then come back and address the need for possible legislation. And I think there are several family members that were at the committee meeting this morning up in the gallery. If you're one of the family members, would you please stand up? And I want to thank you for your input this morning and for you being there. Thank you very much. And again, there's a lot of different moving parts, a lot of people involved, but I feel like we've arrived at a really good position that's going to make a difference with the Department of Corrections in the coming year and in the long term. And I appreciate them being willing to work with us on resolving these issues. And thank you all very much.
Mr. President.
Senator Gudger,
Thank you. I'd like to point out personal privilege.
recognized.
Thank you, sir. Senator Stutz, I want to say thank you because without your leadership, we would not be where we are now. And because without the family members coming, and we want to say thank you because what y'all have done has been able to expose for us to go forward with the Department of Corrections and everyone that was in the room that was there. We're exponentially going to be further than what we'd be with just a single bill right now. It is going so much further, and we appreciate being able to do this, to a pilot program to be able to pull data down so that we can move forward in this legislature forward. But having said that, I wanted to say thank you for your leadership. I wanted to say thank you to the families that's helped bring this all together, but we're exponentially further along because of you, so thank you. Besides that, Mr. President, that is all, but thank you for your leadership, Senator Stutz.
Thank you.
Now back to committee reports. Secretary, call the first committee.
From the Committee on Finance and Taxation Education, Senate Bill number 344 receives a favorable report with 2 amendments by a vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays.
This bill has received a second read and be placed on the calendar for next legislative day. Secretary, call the next committee.
From the Committee on Confirmation, Senate Confirmation, number 76, appointing George Pierce to the Alabama Ethics Commission, receives a favorable report by a vote of 15 ayes and 0 nays.
Senator Weaver.
Move the Senate confirm George Pierce to the Alabama Ethics Commission using long roll.
All right, Secretary, call the long roll.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Allen. Mr. Barfoot. Mr. Beasley. Mr. Bell. Mr. Butler. Mr. Carnley. Mr. Chambliss. Mr. Chasteen. Ms. Coleman. Ms. Coleman Madison. Mr. Elliott. Ms. Figures. Mr. Gavan, Mr. Gudger, Mr. Hatcher, Mr. Hovey, Mr. Jones, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Kitchens, Mr. Livingston, Mr. Melson, Mr. Orr, Mr. Price, Mr. Roberts, Mr. Sessions, Mr. Shellnut, Mr. Singleton, Mr. Smitherman, Mr. Stewart, Mr. Stutz, Mr. Wagner, Ms. Weaver,
Aye.
Mr. Williams, Mr. Woods,
All right, 33 ayes, 0 nays. George Pierce is confirmed to the Alabama Ethics Commission. At this time, got a special guest in the gallery, and it's George Pierce. So congratulations. You could please stand. Welcome to Alabama Senate. Congratulations. Thank you for your willingness to serve. Great to have you. All right, Secretary, call next confirmation. That concludes confirmations. All right.
May I be recognized?
Yeah, point of personal privilege?
Yes.
You got it. You're recognized.
I just wanted to compliment our appointee, compliment him and just tell him that we're glad to have him be a part of the Ethics Commission. And, life sometimes gets you to know people just as they are, and he's a great person, and I just want to say that to you. You know, he knows that, though. He knows that part. I know that he is, and I'm just proud. Thank you for making yourself available, and we're glad to have you. Thank you, my friend.
Mr. President,
You're recognized.
George is a man from Vestavia. Jabbo claims him, I claim him. But we are really thrilled to have you in this new position, and we want you, Representative Shaw is trying to say he claims him, but we are excited to have you in this position and serve well, sir. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
I too want to congratulate George Pierce. He's been a constituent of mine and only mine for years. He's a great man. He's been a great councilman for the city of Vestavia, and I too want to congratulate you, George Pierce. You're a great American. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Secretary, call next committee.
From the Judiciary Committee, House Bill number 228 receives a favorable report, vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays. From Judiciary, Senate Bill number 318 receives a favorable report with 1 amendment by vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays. From Judiciary, Senate Bill number 260 receives a favorable report with 1 amendment by a vote of 10 ayes, 2 nays, and 1 abstention. From Judiciary, House Bill number 132 receives a favorable report by a vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays. From Judiciary, House Bill number 347 receives a favorable report by a vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays. From Judiciary, House Bill number 405 receives a favorable report by a vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays. From Judiciary, House Bill number 86 receives a favorable report by a vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays. From Judiciary, House Bill number 263 receives a favorable report by a vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays. From Judiciary, House Bill number 302 receives a favorable report with 1 amendment by a vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays.
These bills received a second reading and be placed on the calendar for next legislative day. Secretary, call next committee.
From the Committee on State Government Affairs, House Bill number 435 receives a favorable report by a vote of 11 ayes and 0 nays. From State Government Affairs, Senate Bill number 361 receives a favorable report by a vote of 9 ayes and 0 nays. From State Government Affairs, House Bill number 97 receives a favorable report by a vote of 11 ayes and 0 nays. From State Government Affairs, House Bill number 407 receives a favorable report by a vote of 11 ayes and 0 nays.
These bills received a second read and be placed on the calendar for next legislative day. Secretary called next committee.
From the Committee on Education Policy, Senate Bill number 337 receives a favorable report with substitute by a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays. From Education Policy, House Bill number 520 receives a favorable report by a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays. From Education Policy, House Bill number 75 receives a favorable report with one amendment by a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays.
These bills received a second read and be placed on the calendar for next legislative day. Secretary called next committee. From the Committee on Fiscal Responsibility and Economic Development, House Bill number 303 receives a favorable report with one amendment by a vote of 14 ayes and 0 nays. From Fiscal Responsibility and Economic Development, Senate Bill number 360 receives a favorable report by a vote of 14 ayes and 0 nays. From Fiscal Responsibility and Economic Development, Senate Bill number 325 receives a favorable report with one amendment by a vote of 12 ayes and 2 nays. From Fiscal Responsibility and Economic Development, House Bill number 477 receives a favorable report by a vote of 14 ayes and 0 nays. From Fiscal Responsibility and Economic Development, Senate Bill number 329 receives a favorable report by a vote of 14 ayes and 0 nays. From Fiscal Responsibility and Economic Development, Senate Bill number 330 receives a favorable report with one amendment by a vote of 14 ayes and 0 nays. These bills received a second read and be placed on the calendar for next legislative day. Secretary called next committee.
From the Committee on Transportation and Energy, Senate Bill number 341 receives a favorable report with one amendment by a vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays. From Transportation and Energy, Senate Bill number 354 receives a favorable report with one amendment by a vote of 11 ayes and 2 nays. From Transportation and Energy, Senate Bill number 340 receives a favorable report by a vote of 13 ayes and 0 nays.
These bills received a second read and be placed on the calendar for next legislative day. Secretary called the next committee.
From the Committee on Veterans and Military Affairs, House Bill number 465 receives a favorable report by a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays. From the Committee on Veterans and Military Affairs, House Bill number 307 receives a favorable report by a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays. From Veterans and Military Affairs, Senate Bill number 338 receives a favorable report by a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays. From Veterans and Military Affairs, Senate Bill number 359 receives a favorable report by a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays.
These bills received a second reading to be placed on the calendar for next legislative day. Secretary called next committee.
From the Committee on Local Legislation, Jefferson County, Senate Bill number 243 receives a favorable report by a vote of 7 ayes and 0 nays.
This bill received a second reading to be placed on the calendar for next legislative day. Secretary called next committee.
From the Committee on Local Legislation, Shelby County, House Bill number 532 receives a favorable report by a vote of 4 ayes and 0 nays.
All right, this bill's received a second reading, and this concludes committee reports. Now move on to motions and resolutions.
Mr. President.
Senator Livingston.
Mr. President, I have an SJR that I'd like immediate consideration to add all senators.
All right, Secretary Reed received the resolution.
Senate Joint Resolution number 77 by Senator Livingston, commending the section boys basketball team on winning the 2026 Alabama High School Athletic Association 2A state championship.
Mr. President, I move immediate consideration if there's no objection using previous role, adding all senators.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Resolution's adopted.
Mr. President, I have another resolution.
All right, Secretary Reed, receive the resolution, please. And congrats to Section on winning the state championship. That's a big deal.
North Sand also.
Okay.
Senate Joint Resolution number 78 by Senator Livingston, commending North Sand Mountain Girls basketball team for winning the 2026 Alabama High School Athletic Association 2A state basketball championship.
Mr. President, I'd move immediate consideration to add all senators if there's no objection.
Any objection?
Using previous role.
All right, hearing none. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Resolution's adopted. Thanks, Senator Livingston.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Got a resolution?
I'm just going. I hope it would stay there. I was going to compliment his team. You know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I had a chance to be at that game. I think it was one of the later games in that evening. I think it was.
They were back to back Friday morning.
Yeah, and I was there Friday, and got a chance to see them. They did a good job.
Thank you, Coach.
You should be proud of them.
I appreciate it.
I mean, hey, they could have won up in the 3A. They played good ball, you know. So you gonna bring them down here?
I don't know if it's about a 4-hour trip for them, so I don't know if we can do that or not. So we'll see about it.
Okay, I'm gonna try to bring my team down here on the 31st. We got 2 of them. We got Fairfield and we have Winona. No, listen. All I'm gonna say is this: the coach of Fairfield, he started with me and coached together with me for 13 years. And I'm the one. Ask him who one of the sponsors. Now I would ask him that. But anyway, we'll bring him down, okay? Because I already got lined up. So.
All right. Well, congratulations to Section and North Sand Mountain.
Thank you. And at the proper time, not when you get through with this, in proper time, I do have something I want to address on one of our bills that we have here. So if you tell me when it's proper, I'll do that.
You can get recognized for a moment of personal privilege right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're recognized.
I had a chance this morning. No, let me ask this question. How many senators in here are on the Broadband Expansion Committee? Raise your hands. Okay, good, thank you. I had a chance to sit in on y'all's meeting this morning, and I was real proud of what I noticed. Now, to get that to where it needs to be, I need for all of you all to help me in lobbying our education chair so that he'll put HB 4 on the agenda, which deals with the finishing that product, which is the broadband in the rural areas. That's what it's all about, the rural areas all over the state. No, in Huntsville, no, you're not going to get any. Montgomery, you're not going to get any. Mobile, you're not going to get any. And guess what? Birmingham, you're not going to get any. This is for rural. So we need to get the request. I would like 34 requests to the chairman requesting that he put that bill on the agenda so the committee can vet it and see if that's something that we can move forward so that we can finish the job what the committee started, and that is broadband in our areas. One last point. You were with me this morning in Judiciary when the senator from the Black Belt mentioned about the fact that they couldn't get that electronic stuff that they were talking about, putting things on electronic. It was a storage thing. To put the electronic this and that, did you send them the contract and all of that? They don't have adequate internet and broadband down there. And not just there, but I'm sure over on top of Sand Mountain, you know, I'm talking about all them kind of places. So I'm requesting you all to send a friendly request to our budget chair on the education side that we ask him to please put that on the agenda. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, thank you. Any other motions or resolutions?
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a resolution, an SJR, establishing the Alabama Legislative Study Commission on Child Sexual Abuse Laws and Policies.
All right, Secretary Reed, receive the SJR, please.
Senate Joint Resolution number 79 by Senator Coleman and others, establishing the Alabama Legislative Study Commission on Child Sexual Abuse Laws and Policies.
Senator Coleman.
Thank you. Move adoption of the resolution using the previous roll without objection.
All right, any objection? All right, I'm sorry. Totally threw me a curveball. All those in favor say aye.
Well, there you go.
Any opposed? Resolution's adopted.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. All right, any other motions or resolutions? All right, now move on to local bills. Secretary, call the first local bill.
On page 54 of the calendar, House Bill number 504 by Representatives Lawrence and Jackson regarding Wilcox County. BR pending.
Mr. President, I move the BR using the previous roll.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton, Mr. Woods.
33 ayes, 0 nays. The BR is adopted. Secretary, call the bill.
On page 54 of the calendar, House Bill number 504 by Representatives Lawrence and Jackson regarding Wilcox County.
Mr. President, I move final passage using the previous roll.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton, Mr. Woods.
33 ayes, 0 nays. House Bill 504 passes. Secretary, call next local bill.
On page 54 of the calendar, House Bill number 488 by Representative Smith, a proposed constitutional amendment regarding Chilton County. BR pending.
Mr. President, I move the BR using the previous roll.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton, Mr. Woods.
33 ayes, 0 nays. The BR is adopted. Secretary, call the bill.
On page 54 of the calendar, House Bill number 488 by Representative Smith, a proposed constitutional amendment regarding Chilton County.
Mr. President, I move final passage using the previous roll.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton, Mr. Woods.
33 ayes, 0 nays. House Bill 488 passes.
Mr. President, I move certification using the previous roll.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton, Mr. Woods.
33 ayes, 0 nays. Certification resolutions adopted. All right, Secretary, call next local bill.
On page 55 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 343 by Senators Sessions and others regarding Mobile County. BR pending.
Mr. President, I move the BR using the previous roll.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton, Mr. Woods.
33 ayes, 0 nays. The BR is adopted. Secretary, call the bill.
On page 55 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 343 by Senator Sessions regarding Mobile County.
Mr. President, I move final passage using the previous roll.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton, Mr. Woods.
34 ayes, 0 nays. Senate Bill 343 passes. Secretary, call next local bill.
On page 55 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 346 by Senator Figures and others regarding Mobile County. BR pending.
Mr. President, I move the BR using the previous roll.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
34 ayes, 0 nays. The BR is adopted. Secretary, call the bill.
On page 55 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 346 by Senator Figures and others regarding Mobile County.
Mr. President, I move final passage using the previous roll.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
33 ayes, 0 nays, 1 abstention. All right.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thanks, Senator Chambliss. All right, Senator Wagner.
Mr. President, I have a report from the Committee on Rules.
All right, Secretary Rudin received the report from the Committee on Rules.
From the Committee on Rules, Senate Resolution number 80, Special Order Calendar. Be it resolved by the Senate of the Legislature of Alabama that immediately upon the adoption of this resolution, the following business in the order set forth below shall be the special paramount order of business for the 21st legislative day, taking precedence over the regular order of business or any pending or unfinished business. On page 51, Senate Bill number 146 by Senator Albritton regarding appropriations. On page 50, Senate Bill 226 by Senator Albritton regarding supplemental appropriations. On page 46, Senate Bill 143 by Senator Albritton regarding nursing facilities. On page 47, Senate Bill 144 by Senator Albritton regarding emergency medical transport providers. On page 47, Senate Bill 145 by Senator Albritton regarding hospitals. On page 47, Senate Bill 152 by Senator Albritton regarding the Children's Health Insurance Program. On page 48, Senate Bill 153 by Senator Albritton regarding the Children's First Trust Fund. On page 49, Senate Bill 154 by Senator Albritton regarding state employees. And on page 49, Senate Bill 162 by Senator Albritton regarding the Coalition Against Domestic Violence.
Mr. President,
Senator Wagner.
move the Senate adopt the report from the Committee on Rules using previous roll call.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
$32 ayes, 0 nays. The special order calendar is adopted. Secretary, call the first bill.
On page 51 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 146 by Senator Albritton regarding appropriations from the State General Fund. Committee substitute pending.
Mr. President, if I might, I'd ask for the BIR using, no BR on the, that's right, I apologize. All right, then all we need to do is adopt the sub, is that correct? I'd move to adopt the sub, the committee sub, using previous roll without objection.
All right, adopt the substitute. Do you want to use the long roll or short roll?
Let's go ahead and use the long roll, I guess.
All right, Secretary, call the long roll.
Get everybody settled down.
Mr. Albritton.
Aye.
Mr. Allen. Mr. Barfoot. Mr. Beasley. Mr. Bell. Mr. Butler. Mr. Carnley. Mr. Chambliss. Mr. Chastain. Ms. Coleman. Ms. Coleman Madison. Mr. Elliott. Ms. Figures. Mr. Gavan. Mr. Gudger. Mr. Hatcher. Mr. Hovey. Mr. Jones. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kitchens. Mr. Livingston. Mr. Melson. Mr. Orr, Mr. Price, Mr. Roberts, Mr. Sessions, Mr. Shelnut, Mr. Singleton, Mr. Smitherman, Mr. Stewart, Mr. Stutz, Mr. Wagner, Ms. Weaver, Mr. Williams, Mr. Woods.
32 ayes, 0 nays, 1 abstention. The committee substitutes adopted. Before we get on that, I want to recognize a special guest on the floor. One of the Senate's favorite House members, Representative David Faulkner. Welcome to Alabama Senate, Representative Faulkner. Good to have you today. All right, Senator Albritton.
What a way to start. Thank you, Mr. President. Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, what you have in front of you, I hope at this point, is SB 146, which is now the substitute to the main budget of the state and general fund. You'll also should have a spreadsheet with you going through those items, which is reflecting the items in a spreadsheet form, if I may. And now I have mine. Before we go to the spreadsheet, you'll have time to look through the numbers through it, because I want to go into the bill itself and call attention to some language that's new in the budget, so that you'll understand what we're doing here. On page 8 of the bill, on about line 200, you'll see language there. This is concerning the judiciary. If y'all remember, a couple of 3 years ago, we passed a bill that put in more judges. I think we had a total of 12, I think, that was increased, but we did not fund those. So now, this year, the last of that crowd is coming in, and the funding is not there. So there's a shortfall. Because of the circumstances that we're in with the budget matters and such, what we did, and this was frankly the initiation of the Chief Justice and her staff, we have found a way in which we have state funds and state monies held on a local level. Contacts has been made with the locals and such. So what we have here is a $12 million transfer that moves from middle column, basically, into the fund. Between that and also, you'll see on the bill, we've also increased $5 million amount from the general fund to the judiciary. That $17 million is going to make up the difference, so that we're no longer in a financial crunch for those judges. If you'll turn to page 24, this has to deal with the Department of Corrections. Traditionally, I say traditionally, what we've had for a number of years is there's been a conditional amount in the DOC with conditions based upon hiring. Those hirings and such are beyond that point at this point. That's being done. But we do have a conditional in this also. But those conditions are different. The amount's the same, but the conditions are different. And those conditions have to do with the ongoing construction of the 2 prisons that's going on. In order for that conditional $40 million to be released, there has to be completion of the Elmore facility up to the 90%. And the Escambia facility will have to have the in-ground utilities and services complete before that $40 million can be released. If you'll go to page 57, This has to deal with DHR. In this, the first quarter, and here we're holding up some monies in order. If you'll recall, we have a circumstance where DHR has to have an error rate based on the federal release of monies at a particular point of a 6% error rate. Our error rate's running about 7 to 8%, somewhere around there, I believe. What we've done here is we've also put some monies aside as a conditional. Now, we haven't cut their budget. The budget is the same that came over from the governor's budget. So we haven't reduced that money. But we are putting a portion of that money aside as a conditional, requiring that they have and meet that 6% error rate by October 1st. Now, then also they have to develop a plan for modify SNAP benefits and such. All of these are gauged upon what the federal guidelines are. We're not asking for anything new. We're not lowering any rates or making it more difficult. We're simply indicating that we're serious in moving forward and getting this. Because the consequences of them not getting below that error rate is millions, maybe 200 million, I think, has been talked about as a potential of lost federal monies if we do not meet that goal. So we're simply saying it is the legislature's intent that we take that matter seriously. If you would, go to page 69. This has to deal with mental health funding. As you know, we've had several crisis centers that have been built through the state, and even in the rural areas, we've had crisis centers put in. But we've asked about the feasibility of them and their effectiveness and such. We're also putting conditional monies on mental health in regard to those. The monies to operate those are conditional based on mental health providing to the legislature reports that's been required as to their effectiveness, the number of employees, the number of people treated, the hours operational, certain things such as that's there. Additional, we have put in that is that data that's required by ACs, which is the oversight committee that we have from the legislative side, that they turn over the data so they can do a proper evaluation. Next, if you would, go to page 120. On page 120, there's a place here. There's all required in here that as they go, as you know, we've got the federal government has rural health care monies that's being held. We anticipate that coming in fairly soon. And in this page 119 and 120, I think it is, there's language which is typically in here that any monies that flows in from the Fed that we don't account for in this can be taken and used or whatever. It gives them the appropriating authority for that. Now, when COVID and other matters started coming in, we adjusted that language so that the legislature would continue to have a role in those appropriations and disbursements. In subsection D, on lines 34, 53 through 55, I think it is, what we're doing is we're taking the Rural Health Transformation Program and doing the same thing with those monies. That's reserving the legislative right to appropriate that money according to law. And then I think on page 125. Lines 3580. That's section 24. This is a part of the budget which requires state agencies, what the state, the different agencies are, if they're providing assistance or support to local governments from state funds that's been appropriated, then they need to file a report to the legislature delineating what those services are and what those costs are. Now, having said that, let's turn to the spreadsheet. I made an error, I think yesterday, in my comments as to how much was being spent. I know. I did that just to get people's attention, though that's not exactly accurate either. Anyway, I want to run through this real quick to show you the amounts that we have increased, the substantial amounts that we've increased spending. I'm starting out first off on lines 4 and 5. That's $10 million. That's $10 million that, if there's a story behind that. We had worked on this budget since we got it in February, and we're getting close to finish, and then last Monday, not yesterday, but last week, I got an email stating that we had not budgeted for the first payment on our new State House. It's one of those things when you buy a new car and you have a 90-day no payment, and then the 90 days pass too quickly. That was the circumstances, I guess. So we had to struggle around and stretch around to find $10 million. That $10 million is the first payment that will be due. We also took $5,000, which was medals for law enforcement. We plugged that back in. On the judiciary, on line 23, you'll see that's the $5 million I had spoken of earlier. Coming down line 37, ag and industries, 3.2 additional million that we added in there. Department of Commerce, line 65, 3.4 million that's there. Conservation and Natural Resources, line 69, 3.3 million additional there. Then on number 95, 7.3 million. I think y'all will recognize many of those on there as we go through. And then we do the Emergency Management Agency, an additional 1.5 million. Then Public Health, an additional 2.6 million. And I think those are the substantive increases that we've had. Correction, on tourism, an additional 1.5 million, of which you'll probably recognize some of this there. Those are the substantive changes that we've made. All the changes came up to a total increase of 21.895. That's line 368. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the supplemental to the budget. And at this point, I'd entertain questions.
I guess we can. May I be recognized?
Yeah, you're recognized.
Thank you. Senator, I heard you mention something about rural health. There was something when you were talking about some monies, I guess came from federal government, or some monies that we had got that could be used, or some money that was coming, and I don't know if it was when you were saying about you put language in there where we could reserve the ability to appropriate it. Am I close to what I'm thinking about? Rural health and some
Yes,
money.
sir.
And,
Yes,
let me tell you what my question is. Will there be an opportunity for us to be able to have mobile health units? In other words, like in areas where the hospitals have closed, they don't have an opportunity to get there, and have to drive forever and ever, 3 days. That's one of the concepts that had been discussed, not just here but nationally. I was looking at something about that because they was talking about our infant mortality rate in the state, which is so high. And they said that one of the reasons is because they can't get any prenatal care, very little, if any, and that these units, until we could do something about opening up those hospitals, that these units would be a mechanism that people can come and get the prenatal care. And, for instance, say in a week's time, they may hit 3 areas, or either a bigger area, they go maybe 2 days out the week in that area, and then may go somewhere else for that next day, and that people can get the kind of services. Are there any opportunities, to be able to do that? And I don't mean in I'm not even putting on the spot as to what was done in this budget right here, what you're showing to us, but based on when you said that about that situation. So if you could share that with us.
Certainly. And let me clarify. This budget has no monies in for the rural health transformation.
I kind of figured that part.
This was monies that came down through the big, beautiful bill, and the state had to come in and provide a plan that was done back in December. That plan was initially approved. In fact, it was approved so much that we got an additional $3.2 million scheduled.
Okay.
And then they had a time frame to send us some more direction, and we're still waiting for that at this point. That's my understanding.
Okay.
That money, in the plan that was initiated, there were 12 purposes that was lined out by the executive as to what we could cover. And I believe what you're discussing is one of those issues that they could cover.
Okay. I
believe that's the case.
Okay.
To what degree and such, we won't know that until we hear back from CMS, that's the controlling authority on this.
I got you.
As far as this budget is concerned, we've got 3 lines in as I've already mentioned, where that will retain the legislature's role in the dispersal and appropriation of these funds.
Good. Well, I want to be clear on that, and you just gave me some clarity on it. And I would just say to the body, I hope that when we get to that point, we'll be able to designate some of those funds for what we were just talking about there, so that we can reduce our level of mortality and infant death and parents' death as well. And because one of the things that was discovered is that one of the reasons is because of the lack of an ability to get prenatal care. And usually when they get somewhere at that point, they are so sick, in such a bad situation, that it's very difficult sometimes to bring them out of that situation.
Yes.
So thank you very much, and I look forward to, if by me not being on general fund, it's why I'm getting ready to make this request. But if there's some way that if you don't do anything but just come up here when we get ready to start the day that you find out and say, look, I think we're ready to look at that issue, and then I'll know that that's where we are, in terms of getting the information back that you need and we need from, I'm sure it's Washington, from Washington, and then we can move forward. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Mr. President,
Senator Figures.
Thank you. Senator Albritton, first of all, thank you for all of your hard work on this budget and all the time that you've spent on it and working with everyone. I saw on here on page 15,
You're looking
line
at the spreadsheet?
271,
You're
the
looking at the
Department of
spreadsheet,
Mental
is that
Health.
correct?
And it shows that there was $2.9 million less than what the governor sent over from her budget. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Why would you take money away from mental health when we need it so badly?
One of the reasons is because when we look at the amount of monies that they have in their middle column, which is not reflected on this sheet, they have accrued a large sum in that middle column. And when we're looking to make a $10 million payment, that looked like an avenue to be able to deal with the matters. From what we can tell with the mental health, and by that I mean with the differences in what they have and what they can use it for, this should not harm their operations at all.
Should they be able to get some additional beds, which are so needed, I know especially down in our area?
We hope so, and I believe they have the funds for that. That's one of the reasons I put the conditionals on with the crisis centers. We want to help and we want to identify the bed numbers and how they're being used and if they're being used. Okay. There's been some reports where, and this may be an old report, but there were some reports made that some of them were just empty, not just of patients. So we're trying to get a handle on some of that.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank
Yes,
you, Mr.
ma'am.
President.
Thanks, Senator Figurs. Senator Singleton.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Chairman, how you doing?
I'm doing well, sir.
Good.
Good to see you there.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, you came and you gave a great synopsis of your budget. One of the first time I've seen a budget chair just come in and be as thorough as you were in terms of your numbers, and not only going through the spreadsheet, but also through the budget itself and pointing out those things that, you know, we sometimes take for granted in budgets and don't really read the budget sometimes, but be more concerned about the numbers on the top. You took us through that process, and you talked about a lot of different stuff that was went on there based on what you may have had to cut back here or there, and you added to some other parts of the budget also. And what is that total number on this budget again?
Let's turn back to the next to the last page.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at line 407, and under column L, and the total I'm reading here is, correction, let me go down to 416, column L. I think I made that mistake yesterday. So anyway, we're looking at $3,724,592.767.
$3 billion. And with all the agencies of the state that has to be funded, the things that they want, need to keep Alabama moving.
Yes, sir, but please understand, this is just the state general fund monies that's there. This does not count fees and other matters that come in to the agencies themselves. We have to appropriate it as part of the written budget, but it's the so-called middle column.
Okay.
It also includes the federal money that comes into the agency. So all total in the general fund, we're spending close to $25 billion.
Exactly. Okay, because a lot of that money is being matched at the federal level.
That's correct.
Okay. You talked in here. You talked about parts of what DHR. You dealt with some correction pieces. You talked about how correction where the money is having to be spent at cost. DHR the aerial piece.
The error rate, yes, sir.
Based on a 6% ratio.
Yes,
and,
sir.
and we want them to be below that.
Yes, sir.
And if we can think back in December of this year that Alabama was kind of exposed to 750,000 mothers who was on food stamps in the state of Alabama at that time. And I'm just want to make sure that, you know, based on what this area plan has to be and how trying to make sure that they meet this, and I'm not sure whether DHR can meet this in a timely manner or not. But, and because I don't know what their day-to-day operations are to be able to try to bring that number down, you know, from where it is down below 6%. And, but I heard you talk about setting aside conditional dollars.
May I
Yes.
interject on that, if I may, Senator? I've got full confidence that DHR can meet this goal.
Okay.
And there's 2 or 3 reasons. Number one is Alabama's one of the lowest in the Southeast error rate. There's very few states that are as low as we are. Our rate is somewhere between 7 and 9 now, I think. So we're well within striking distance of that. I've been schooled in the difficulties and such that's involved with that. But DHR's got a well-trained and fully staffed personnel that can get there. They know what and how to do these things. If they didn't, they wouldn't be as low as they are already. So
you have the confidence that the agency can make it happen?
I have full confidence they're going to make it because they, just as we, are concerned with meeting the demands of our people here. And we know that if we don't meet these demands, we're going to be in a hurt locker. So we've got to get this down in order to maintain the services that we've got.
So with that coming down, how does that affect the people in my district that receive SNAP, your plan, if the numbers are coming down?
If we can get to the, and we will, get to the 6%, that means that the federal money will continue to flow in. If we do not meet that error rate, federal money will not be sent down and distributed to us. Now, how much, that's questionable, but it could be as much as $200 million.
Okay.
And on the low end, the estimate, I think, was $76 million. We can't afford to lose any of that. Hence, the importance that the legislature has and the message that we're sending is we need to get there. We do not need to place our people in jeopardy on this.
Okay. I'm just, well, I guess you say you have the complete confidence that they can get there.
I do. I do.
All right, well.
That's one reason the goal that we're putting here is not onerous. It's the goal that was published last year that we had to meet. And they're already working on it.
Correct.
So the only thing we're doing is trying to say, let's move along. Let's get there. And the date that they have to work on is based on this year. We're in that. If we get beyond the October 1st timeframe and don't meet that, that's when the feds cut us off. Does that make sense?
Okay. Are they going to have to bring on any extra people to help or anything of that nature?
I don't know. That I haven't received that request or anything at this point.
Okay, if it happens.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay. All right, on corrections.
Yes, sir.
When you were speaking, explain to me again on that correction piece where the new Elmo coming in.
Certainly, there's 2 major criteria we got there, and that has to deal with the construction aspects. Number one is, and the conditions are twofold. You got to have both, not either. One is Elmore, which is under construction and has been for a while, and the last time frame that we were told that this would be completed and turned over was October 15th. That's the date that we've been told fairly recently. That's the completion and turnover date.
Okay.
So one is, we have specified, is that Elmore must be, by October 1st, 90% complete. Now, that should be an easy goal to hit. Number 2 is the Escambia County must have the in-ground construction done, the water lines and things such as that. Now, some of that's already begun. There were, you know, the surveys and different things. We know where it is. We know the footprint and things such as that. I think the DOC is in negotiations, I believe, with a new project manager for that. And when that gets completed, when they get those contracts done, then they can begin the rest of the construction. Now, I've been told by DOC that getting to this point of the in-ground being done by October 1st is not only achievable, but should be completed without a problem. Now, that's why we put it in. Again, it's not anything that's not overbearing, not going to take warp speed, but it's going to take attention to.
Okay. So Elmo, you want them going to get completed at least by 75%.
It should be by 90%.
90%.
By October 1st. It should be completed there, okay? But
I agree. I agree. Those are some massive campuses out there, though.
They are.
It's a massive campus. I think everything else is, you know, been lining up in terms of getting a new contractor, getting them on board, and getting that selection, and getting ready to move on to Atmore.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that eviction that had been cut back. I think
Do you know the line number on that?
Just let me look. Give me 1 second here.
On the spreadsheet?
Yeah, I'm going to go through the spreadsheet. You can go and tell me something else about it.
Okay. Well, it was originally set up during COVID years, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
To prevent people from getting thrown out of homes.
Right.
Okay, their houses and such. And we set this aside for that purpose to prevent that, or at least give them representation along that line. And that was, I think, $650,000. I think is what it was. And that's been the case since COVID. Now we're in 2026. COVID was 22, 23. We're beyond that time frame. And so that's why we were looking and trying to prepare not just for this budget cycle, but also for next budget cycle. We took and reduced that, I think, close to half. I think it's to 350, I believe.
You did.
Correct. And that's because we're out of the emergency time frame. We don't want to just cut it completely off, but that's why the reduction was there.
Yeah, but I think the caseload has not just totally gone away, and we're still going to have to let off a lot of people, you know, if in fact that, you know, we don't get the funding back to at least level funding. And so therefore, families are going to be hurt because they're not going to get their day in court.
I understand. In that regard, I would suggest we need to probably look and evaluate where and if. Maybe it shouldn't be a whole new line item because the emergency is over. Maybe we need to look at another, whether it be under another line and such with a designation. We can rehandle that. But as far as getting more money into it, my first question would be, who do we take it from? And how do we rearrange from there? The other is, if there is a continued need, the aspect of why and how are we having this amount of problem so long after the emergency? Is there a continual major issue that we look at for housing that we need to deal with?
And that's been an issue in this state. It has been. I mean, we don't really address housing in this state. Not that we make any attempts. We're never intentional about it. People bring bills about housing. We set up these funds to do different kind of housing programs, and they never get funded. And so we just can't ever get there in this state. We probably got the Alabama Finance Authority is the only piece that I know that's in housing that's deal with contractors. And so from the state level. And but we got to do a better job.
You're correct.
Yeah.
We do.
So if people are still out there, we was just trying to get that budget item up if it was possible. I understand and I appreciate you at least keeping the 50% in.
Yes, sir. I hope to get this down to the House, and then if there's questions or issues that the House will have an opportunity to make adjustments, maybe that can be done there.
That's a small amount.
Yes, sir.
Out of $3 billion, that's a small little amount, man. I should be ashamed up here asking you for that. $3 billion man. Anybody else got any questions y'all want to ask? Senator?
Yes, sir.
Because you know, I have not had a whole lot of time to look at it today. My first time seeing this budget. Don't have an opportunity to go through a lot of it to look at it. My question in line to you was just what I was taking notes from.
If I might, you're the lucky one. I've been living and breathing and going to this now for
I understand.
2 months.
I know you have.
I'm
you
jealous.
did a good job at it. But I wish I could continue my line of questioning like I would like to, because there's some other things I really just need to go through it. But you're about to get it passed, but we'll talk.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your patience with me.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Mr. President, if there's no other questions, I'd move for third reading, final passage using previous roll without objection.
Is there an objection to previous roll? Secretary, call the short roll.
Mr. Albritton, Mr.
Aye.
Woods.
Oh, we got, all right.
$33 ayes, no nays, and 1 abstention. Bill passes. Thank you, Senator Albritton. Secretary, call the next bill.
On page 50 of the calendar, Senate Bill 226 by Senator Albritton regarding supplemental appropriations. BR pending.
Mr. President, did I hear BIR pending? Okay. A move for passage of BIR using previous roll without objection.
Is there any objection to using previous roll? Okay, let's get a clean roll.
All right.
Mr. Albritton.
Aye. BIR on the sub.
Mr. Allen. Mr. Barfoot. Mr. Beasley. Mr. Bell. Mr. Butler. Mr. Carnley. Mr. Chambliss. Mr. Chastain. Ms. Coleman. Ms. Coleman Madison. Mr. Elliott. Ms. Figures. Mr. Gavan. Mr. Gudger. Mr. Hatcher. Mr. Hovey. Mr. Jones. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kitchens. Mr. Livingston. Mr. Melson. Mr. Orr. Mr. Price. Mr. Roberts. Mr. Sessions. Mr. Shellnut. Mr. Singleton. Mr. Smitherman. Mr. Stewart. Mr. Stutz. Mr. Wagner. Ms. Weaver. Mr. Williams. Mr. Woods.
34 ayes, no nays. BR is adopted.
Mr. President?
Secretary, call the bill.
Oh, sorry.
On page 50 of the calendar, Senate Bill 226 by Senator Albritton regarding supplemental appropriations. Committee substitute pending.
Mr. President?
Senator Albritton.
We have a substitute, and I'd like to move the substitute and use previous role without objection.
Is there any objection to using previous role? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
34 ayes, no nays, 1 abstention. Substitute is adopted.
I have to read the whole thing.
Senator Albritton.
Thank you, Mr. President. All right, on the supplemental, there is no money from general fund in the supplemental, period. The supplemental consists of middle column monies that's being transferred to different agencies so it can be appropriated and they can use it as need be. Now, there's one issue that I want to call attention to, and I think this is the most important part. This is lines on the first page, lines 26 through 28. This is where we've taken tourism money, $2 million out of tourism, and we're using that to fund our SEEDS program. So that's, in my mind, that's one of the most important parts that's there. But there is complications and such through different ways and means, but you can see where we've gone through as you look through it. But there are no particular points. And I think I have a gentleman across the way that may have some comments.
Thank you, sir, Mr. President. Thank you for the recognition. Senator, I appreciate the efforts that you've put into the budget and the supplemental. And I got to looking at the supplemental, and I had a question. And so, as you pointed out, there's no general fund money in the supplemental, but rather you're really moving some things around and adding some additional language in the supplemental for authorizations for use of those.
That is correct. That is correct.
And so, this is a little weedy, members, but one of the things that starts on line 219 is exactly what Senator Albritton mentioned, which is some authorizations. And you carry that over, starting on line, we'll call it 228, and there's a little $59,808,596 change there. And I was wondering if the chairman could kind of explain what that might be for. And then, by the way, the whole rest of that page is additional authorizations for that funding, and I was wondering if you could explain what that's for.
I think the gentleman across the way could probably explain that better than I could.
Well, it adds essentially additional ability to use that funding for debt service for the Alabama highway authority. Exactly. Essentially. And that's for bond issuances that the state's made. And so it's for additional debt service, right? That the state's taken out.
Correct, exactly.
Okay. And it doesn't name a specific project necessarily that this additional $59 million in debt service is needed for, does it? There's no specific project.
That's correct. But
do you sit or serve on the Alabama Highway Authority?
no, I do not.
Okay. I think, and I'm not certain, but I think that this additional $59 million for debt service only members is for a project in West Alabama. And I just wanted to point that out and make sure that members were aware of that.
Thank you. I appreciate your pointing that out.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. Is there any other questions? If there's no more questions, I'd move for final passage using previous roll without objection.
Long roll.
Long roll, please.
Mr. Albritton.
Aye.
Mr. Allen. Mr. Barfoot. Mr. Beasley. Mr. Bell. Mr. Butler. Mr. Carnley. Mr. Chambliss. Mr. Chasteen. Ms. Coleman. Ms. Coleman-Madison. Mr. Elliott. Ms. Figures. Mr. Gavan. Mr. Gudger. Mr. Hatcher. Mr. Hovey. Mr. Jones. Mr. Kelly. Mr. Kitchens. Mr. Livingston. Mr. Melson. Mr. Orr. Mr. Price. Mr. Roberts. Mr. Sessions. Mr. Shellnut. Mr. Singleton. Mr. Smitherman. Mr. Stewart. Mr. Stutz. Mr. Wagner. Ms. Weaver. Mr. Williams. Mr. Woods.
Thirty ayes, 3 nays. SB 226 passes. Call the next bill.
On page 46 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 143 by Senator Albritton regarding nursing facilities. BR pending.
Senator Albritton.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for passage of the BIR using previous roll without objection.
Is there any objection using previous roll? Change me to aye. No objections. Call short roll.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
Thirty-two ayes, 1 nay. BRI passes. Senator Albritton.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is SB 143. This is the nursing home privilege assessment tax that we have. This is in order to comply with federal law to continue its existence. I'd move a final passage using previous roll without objection.
Is there any objection to using previous roll? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
32 ayes, 1 nay. SB 143 passes. Thank you, Senator Albritton. Call the next bill, please.
On page 47 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 144 by Senator Albritton regarding emergency medical transport providers. BR pending.
Senator Albritton.
Mr. President, move for passage of the BIR using previous rule without objection.
Is there any objection to using previous roll? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
33 ayes, 1 nay. BIR passes. Call the bill.
On page 47 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 144 by Senator Albritton regarding medical transport providers.
Mr. President?
Senator Albritton.
This is the provider tax for emergency EMTs. There we go, yeah. And without objection, I'd move for final passage using previous rule without objection.
Senator Smitherman. You're recognized.
Oh, yeah, that was 144. Here, take this one. That's mine.
Senator.
Yes, sir.
Does this bill help, and if so, tell me how, does it help in the facilitation of the emergency transportation of citizens?
It does.
In particular, you know the bill that the senator from
Yes, sir. I'm aware of that.
yeah, from down in the Black Belt had?
Yes, sir.
That bill finally went through our system? The downstairs as it's gone, do you know?
No, this is a different one. This is dealing with the provider taxes that we passed so that the EMTs can draw down on Medicare, Medicaid costs and,
okay.
and fees.
I remember that
Yeah.
as well.
And the big beautiful bill, if you will, and CMS does not allow provider taxes to be initiated any longer. So what we're doing to make sure that we retain that is we're passing this bill that's in existence now to remove the sunset so it'll be permanent.
Well, let me say, I didn't know you were going to say that last, what you just said, but let me say this to you and the members in here. I appreciate you doing that because when I walked in here the first day or first few days, I said that one of the focuses we had to do was, and we did it last year when it came to the child nutrition, in other words, the breakfasts. We did it last year in that arena. And I mentioned the fact that what our focus has to be now is that whatever holes that the big beautiful bill create for us, we've got to be willing to fill them. And that's what you're doing right there.
We're filling
that's what
that hole.
Yeah, you're doing right there what I was talking about. And so I want to commend you on that because it's not a matter of why it's there or what would you think about this, that, and the other. It's the fact that we have to fill those holes so our citizens won't suffer. You know, it's kind of like my airplane. You know, this is what you did was make sure the folks under the wings are all right. We know the plane is the bill, but and this is the people under the wings that the incidental injury, not intended, but you know, happened with the EMA people. So thank you very much for that, and I hope we as a body will continue to focus and pull together to fill those holes that I'll be just as kind as I can be that's unintentionally done to make a hole, but it created one, and it's our job to fill them. So thank you very much. I understand now what it does, and it was a great move. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Senator Albritton.
I move for third reading, final passage using previous rule.
Is there any objection to
Without
using previous
objection.
roll? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
34 ayes, no nays. Bill passes. 35 ayes. Secretary, call the next bill.
On page 47 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 145 by Senator Albritton regarding hospitals. BR pending.
Senator Albritton.
Mr. President, move for passage of the BIR using previous rule without objection.
Is there any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
35 ayes, no nays. Senator Albritton.
There's a committee sub on this. I'd move for passage of the substitute.
Apologize. We need, Secretary needs to read the bill.
Sorry.
Recall the bill.
On page 47 of the calendar, Senate Bill 145 by Senator Albritton regarding hospitals. Committee substitute pending.
Senator Albritton.
Thank you. Move for adoption of the substitute.
Using previous roll. Senator Singleton.
I apologize, Mr. Chairman. I would just like for the gentleman to explain what's in the substitute.
Certainly, be happy to.
Thank you.
This, again, is a provider tax doing the same thing, removing the thing. But the Hospital Association felt that the language that we used was inadequate. So what the substitute did was put the hospital languages in there that they felt would clarify and protect them in a further way. So that's what we have.
Okay, I got you. I understand the provider tax. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Move for adoption of the substitute without using previous role without objection.
Is there any objection to using the previous roll for the adoption of the substitute? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
35 ayes, no nays. Substitute is adopted. Senator Albritton.
Is there any further questions? No? In that case, I'd move for third reading, final passage of, where are we? Senate Bill 145, using previous role without objection.
Any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
35 ayes, no nays. SB 145 is passed. Secretary, call the next bill.
On page 47 of the calendar, Senate Bill 152 by Senator Albritton regarding the children's health insurance. BR pending.
Mr. President.
Senator Albritton.
Move passage of the BIR using previous role without objection.
Is there any objection to using previous roll for the BIR? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
35 ayes, no nays. The BIR is adopted. Senator Albritton. Secretary, call the bill. I'm sorry. I'm not used to sitting up here.
On page 47 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 152 by Senator Albritton regarding health insurance.
Mr. President. This is the Children's Health Insurance Program, the CHIPS program, part of the package. I'd move for final passage using previous role without objection.
Is there any objection to using previous role? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
35 ayes, no nays. SB 152 is adopted. You're on a roll, Senator.
Finally, with your help.
Secretary, call the next bill.
On page 48 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 153 by Senator Albritton regarding the Children's First Trust Fund. BR pending.
Mr. President, move for passage of the BIR using previous role without objection.
Is there any objection to using the previous role? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
35 ayes, no nays. BIR is adopted. Secretary, call the bill.
On page 48 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 153 by Senator Albritton regarding the Children's First Trust Fund.
Mr. President, this is the Children's First distribution from the trust fund to the various agencies that's supported by those funds. And if there's no question, I'd move for third reading, final passage using previous role without objection.
Is there any objection to using previous role? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
35 ayes, no nays. SB 153 is adopted. Secretary, call the next bill.
On page 49 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 154 by Senator Albritton regarding state employees. BR pending.
Mr. President, move for passage of the BIR using previous role without objection.
Is there any objection to using the previous role? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
35 ayes, no nays. BIR is adopted. Secretary, call the bill.
On page 49 of the calendar, Senate Bill number 154 by Senator Albritton regarding state employees.
Mr. President, this is the COLA, the cost of living 2% raise for employees of the state. And if there's no questions, I'd move for final passage using previous roll without objection.
Any objection to using previous roll? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
35 ayes, no nays. SB 154 passes. Senator Figures.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Albritton, this was a bill that passed for state employees to get a cost of living adjustment raise.
Yes, ma'am. The 2% cost of living raise for state employees.
So when do we do it for the retired state employees?
They're on a defined plan, and we have no disruption to that plan.
They're on the what?
They're on a defined retirement plan. They're receiving the funds that they agreed to receive at the time of employment. So now they're receiving their retirement. This COLA does not provide any distribution of any kind to retirees. It does.
I mean, I'm very well aware of that. That's why I'm asking the question. Why are they not included somewhere? I mean, can you imagine being retired on a salary that you made at the state?
Senator Figures, we've actually passed the bill. If you want to be recognized for a point of...
Anyway, you get my point. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Call the next bill, please.
On page 49 of the calendar, Senate Bill 162 by Senator Albritton regarding the Coalition Against Domestic Violence, BR pending.
Mr. President, move for passage of the BIR using previous roll without objection.
Is there any objection to previous roll? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
35 ayes, no nays. Secretary, call the bill.
On page 49 of the calendar, Senate Bill 162 by Senator Albritton regarding the Coalition Against Domestic Violence.
Mr. President, Mr. President,
Albritton.
We just did the BIR, did we not? Yeah, okay. This is the bill dealing with the Coalition Against Domestic Violence. But before I move for final passage, may I take and address the issue that my colleague across the way
You got the mic, so.
Thank you. It is true that we don't have anything for retirees in this package or in this bill. And the reason for it, frankly, is we are up against the wall on many things when it comes to the fundings, as we all know. Though we have spent more money than the governor sent over, we have been constrained on where and how we spend those funds. This year, for our employees, state employees, we did provide a 2% pay raise. We also are providing an increase in the insurance premiums that are going in. We took and are funding and covering those costs too. So because of that, we're covering both of those, because I had serious doubts at the beginning of whether we could do both of those. That's what we're doing this time. So with that, I would comments, I'd move for final passage using previous roll without objection. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. President.
Senator Figures.
I thought the previous president sitting up there said that the bill had been passed. Is this a new bill already that we just passed the BIR for?
So this is Senate Bill 162.
The last one on the calendar?
That's correct.
Okay. May I have recognition, please?
Yeah, you're recognized.
You know, Senator, and I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to this entire body. If we can't have the heart for people who retire on the salaries that they retire on, and they're, of course, you know, their retirement is connected to how much they, well, in terms of how much they were being paid when they retired, is connected to how much they get.
Yes, ma'am.
And then they have little Social Security, which that too is also factored in as well. How can we not have the heart to have not given these retirees a cost of living adjustment in 20 years? I know that we've given them little bonuses, which a bonus may pay a month's power bill or water bill or some utilities or a grocery bill or something. But I think that it is totally unconscionable for all of us in here who have aging parents. And well, my parents are deceased, but my parents had enough children that we could take care of them. So they didn't have to depend, nor were they state employees or education employees. And I cannot see how we can't understand how things are constantly, the costs are constantly rising every day, especially now. Especially now. And we can't find it in our hearts to find money somewhere to give them a raise. They haven't had one in 20 years, maybe 21 now. How can we keep saying that when we always find the money that we need when we want to fund something? All of the millions and millions and millions of dollars that we put forth for tax credits for this, tax credits for that. And I know this is the general fund bill, but on our prisons, which come out of this budget. And I just want to appeal to all of my colleagues to put yourselves, try and have some empathy and put yourself in the shoes of these retirees that cannot make ends meet, and we don't do anything to help them. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thanks, Senator Figures. All right.
Renew my motion to final passage using previous rule without objection.
All right, any objection? Hearing none, so ordered.
Mr. Albritton. Mr. Woods.
$35 ayes, 0 nays. Senate Bill 162 passes. Thanks, Senator Albritton.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, Senator Gudger.
Mr. President.
Senator Gudger.
Thank you. Senator Albritton, we just want to say thank you, my friend, leading the charge and your leadership on getting all of this done. Let's give him a round of applause, everyone. Good job.
I thank the body for their support and all this and guidance that we received. So it's not, we've done this.
Work as a team, buddy. We appreciate that. We know we still got half of it to go downstairs and then bring it back up if it does come back up, but thank you for your leadership on that. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a good day. We're making a motion to adjourn until 9 a.m. March 12th.
Heard the motion. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We stand adjourned.